Are you sitting on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to come down so that you can purchase a home? I don't think that's the right strategy to go with, but I'm going to explain why. Today is December 6th, and we just got the announcement that the Bank of Canada is holding their overnight rate, which means we are still at a 5%. It did not go up, it also did not go down. And there are a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for those interest rates to come down so that they can get into the housing market. But everybody is doing that right now, which means you are going to be going back into fighting multiple people to purchase a home. And I believe when interest rates come down, prices are going to go up. If you feel comfortable purchasing a home with today's interest rates, if you look at what your monthly payments are going to be and you feel comfortable with that price, I would go in and try to purchase something now before the interest rates come down, because then prices will go up. You might be trying to purchase something at a higher price than what you would have gotten a few months before, and you might be fighting multiple buyers in that process. I make these videos today going over what is happening in the Brampton real estate market so that you can follow along what is happening month to month to know when you feel comfortable to go ahead and try to purchase. By the way, my name is Zamira Dunnet and I'm a local real estate agent right here in the GTA, and I'm with eXp Realty. And if you have any questions about the Brampton real estate market or any other market right here in the GTA, please go ahead and reach out to me. My contact information is right there in the description. All of my details are right there so that you can reach out. Also, I made a video just like this for the month of October, so go ahead and click this link right here because it will take you back to October's market update so you can be informed every single month. Now let's dive right into it. So let's start off with the average price of homes in Brampton for the month of November. Now, back in October, we were under $1 million. We were at 999, and now we are above $1 million, but just by a little bit. So the difference between the 2 months is by 0.32%, and from last year in 2022, we are only a decrease of 0.04%. In November, we sold 302 properties in Brampton, as well as we've had 811 new properties come up on the market. This leaves us with 1,235 properties on the market by the end of the month. Sales are down by 6.71% from last year, and active listings are up by 15% from last year. Now you can see I left a question mark there for how many properties have sold over asking in the month of November, because I'm leaving that to the end of the video because that is my favorite part. So looking throughout the year of 2023, we are at the lowest amount of sales for the entire year except for the month of January. In January, we were under 300 properties sold, and we are right at that borderline right now. You can see that in March and April of 2023, we did see an increase of how many properties have sold in that month, and same with June. That happened because you can see in April and in May, we did pause interest rates. More properties are coming up on the market and less properties are selling. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on what's happening, because as soon as those interest rates start to come down, I think those number of sales are gonna start going up. So like I said, we had 1,235 active listings left at the end of the month of November. We had 143 properties out of the 302 properties only last on the market for less than 14 days. And the leftover, which is 159, take more than 15 days sitting on the market. We had 682 properties that ended up having to either suspend, terminate, or end up being expired throughout the month of November. That means 682 properties either had to relist or took their property completely off the market. That tells you there is so much potential for buyers right now. All of these properties could have had some sort of negotiation room. You could have grabbed one of them before they were taken off the market, because a lot of sellers still think they have a property that is valued higher or back from a few months or even last year. As soon as a property is priced incorrectly, it is given the buyer the advantage. Look for properties that are sitting on the market for over 20 to 30 days, and you could strongly negotiate, especially with properties that have been taken off the market and relisted. Some agents or sellers think they can relist it at the same price that they had it on that was already sitting for such a long time. Yes, it looks like a new property to a lot of buyers out there, but you have to look at the history. Speak to your real estate agent, find out what the history of that property is, and if it's been sitting for months on end, you have the potential to grab something that fits you perfectly at a lower price because it was priced incorrectly right from the beginning. When I was taking this information, I was looking through these properties, getting the information from them. I noticed that there were multiple properties that sold over $100,000 under what it was listed at. That gives you another advantage. Like it says here, 137 properties had to change their price. The rest of them had to take it off the market and relist. Get in before the interest rates come down, because then you won't be fighting multiple buyers to get into this market, and you'll get a pretty good deal before those prices start to go back up. Just looking across the board from March 2022, when the interest rates did start to go up, to now, we are seeing the lowest amount of sales throughout that entire time. The winter is always a slow time for sales, but look at this chart. It is showing you that the sales have literally come down so much, and we are seeing a lot of active listings, and we are seeing a lot of new listings coming up on the market. We did have a really high amount of active listings back in the fall, but that is also starting to come down with the winter. So you have such an advantage right now if you're gonna get in, because there are not a lot of sales and there are a lot of properties sitting on the market. Now, going over year for the month of November, you can see that 2021 was our highest prices across the board. Now, if you look at 2022 and 2023, there aren't a lot of changes between the prices, about $20,000 to $30,000 in difference between, because we are now at a point where interest rates are being held, so buyers are trying to get in, grab some properties right before the interest rate goes down, because they know if they get a property now and the interest rates do come down, they're going to be in an advantage because they bought a property at a lower price, lower than we've seen for the past little while, and then their interest rate will come down, which will cause their monthly payments to decrease throughout the time that they have this mortgage. Okay, breaking it down per type of property across the year, you can see that we are literally at the lowest prices we have had for detached houses throughout the year of 2023. Yes, October did have a little bit more of a decrease than November did, but again, we have held rates for 3 months straight now, which means buyers are trying to get in and trying to grab a property just before the shift happens. With SemiDetaches, you can see prices have gone up a little bit since the last month as well. But again, we're around the price of what we were at in January, February of 2023. Here you can see for freehold townhouses, we have kind of stayed at the same price of the last few months. And again, we are at the lowest prices we have seen throughout the entire year of 2023. Now, this is where maintenance fees jump in. So condo townhouses do have maintenance fees added in on them, and you can see here that we are still getting some low prices. We are around the $700,000 price, and hopefully stay around that price for a while to grab something for some buyers that don't mind having a bit of an extra maintenance fees added on, so that they can then get into the market and then upgrade when prices do increase, and they can get equity off that property and then buy something bigger. And then when it comes to condos, you can see that we've always stayed around that $500,000 mark, but it's just fluctuated in the middle there. So if you can get in with just a condo, that's what I did when I first bought. I bought a condo, and then when prices went up, I sold that condo and bought a townhouse. So this gives you advantage to do that in this time as well. Now, my last slide is coming up next. This is where I had that question mark to tell you how many properties are selling over asking price. What happened in 2022 and 2021 is a lot of real estate agents were pricing properties super low so people could fight each other put in multiple offers on a property, and get a seller the highest price possible for them. That time is now gone because right now we are at 17%. 17% of properties are selling over asking right now, which means the time of selling over asking is pretty much gone. Agents are still listing properties at the lower prices and having to try to have buyers fight each other, but it's not really working. You can see between the months how it has come down quite a bit. So if you are trying to get into the market, I would do it before you see this shift happen. It's very hard to time the market, so get in before these big changes happen. I hope this video really helped you understand what is happening in November's real estate market right here in Brampton. I hope the insight I gave you will really get you to think about what your options are. If you just want to know what you stand at today when it comes to qualification for a mortgage, my husband is a mortgage agent, so I'm going to put his contact information right there in the description as well. Please either reach out to me or reach out to him to get as much information to prepare yourself for when you are ready to get into the real estate market. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Come back next week for my next video. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because I do these every single week and I want to keep you guys as informed as possible when it comes to the Brampton real estate market. So we will see you all next week.